Since inception, the retail automobile business has always been a numbers game. It has been driven by a substantial advertising budget, which historically has funneled an average of 5 prospects to a dealership for each vehicle sold. Once an acceptable closing ratio was established, processes were then created to facilitate multiplier effects on the numbers that translated into bottom-line profitability. The common theme of our ultra-successful dealerships is that they identified the need to have a dealer-owned program before actually seeing the many features and technological benefits of the preferred customer program. They determined that the retail automotive industry is a numbers-driven business, and it makes perfect sense to explore opportunities to drive the maximum amount of traffic to the dealership in a profitable or cost-neutral manner. In order to analyze this crucial decision, we can plug the dealership's exact numbers into a calculator tool incorporating advertising, sold units, including anticipated cost, profit probabilities, as well as overall performance and upsell expectations in the following scenario. Let's input some figures and get a cost-to-value snapshot over a 3-year timeline. Hometown Motors sells 50 new and 50 used vehicles per month. Whenever service opens a customer pay RO, the advisor generates a conservative average upsell per RO of $38 at a 25% profit margin. The organization wants to see if it makes sense to offer a factory or dealership complimentary plan on every delivery, with the anticipation that a percentage of complimentary plans will be converted to longer-term wrap plans sold in F&I. On this first look, let's assume that 65% of deliveries will take advantage of the dealership complimentary plan, and 35% will purchase a longer-term wrap plan. The dealership also wants the advisor or cashier to sell a low-cost express plan in the service department. In this example, they sell only 25 contracts on the 450 to 550 ROs that are generated on a monthly basis. Consequently, customers having any of these various plans will return to the selling dealership 75% of the time to have those services redeemed. Now, let's plug in some revenue and cost figures so that we can begin to look forward and see if this type of program is economically viable. Whenever F&I sells a wrap plan to the customer, the dealership will retain conservatively $300 in net revenue. When a dealership complimentary plan is issued, the dealership would accrue, in this example, $75 per plan, which is usually charged to the deal and split fairly among various departments within the organization. When the low-cost express plan is sold in service, it would typically generate about $68 in net revenue. All of the funds are retained by the dealership and earmarked to offset future redemptions. Unused services that expire due to time or mileage will remain with the dealership as other income once they're fully earned. Hometown Motors spends about $500 per delivery in advertising budget in order to generate enough traffic to support these sales. By the way, the national average in advertising budget is now well over $600 per delivery, making this a very conservative snapshot. In order to generate 3,600 vehicle sales during this period, the dealership will spend $1.8 million in advertising. It would cost the dealership $175,500 to give away the complimentary program to 65% of its customers. However, the net revenue generated from retaining those customers at the dealership during that same time frame, from contract sales and upsell dollars from the redemption visits, after deducting the cost of complimentary plans, is over $630,000, which represents over $200,000 in net profit from spoilage and upsell revenue on the various plans. In addition to the net profit, the Preferred Customer Program produces an enormous amount of guaranteed traffic back to the selling dealership. Imagine the possibilities once this first conservative look at your benchmark expectations gets incorporated into your daily process-oriented DNA. When dealership expectations intersect with the preferred customer program's training, service, and state-of-the-art technology, big things happen to profitability. Let's explore what happens with just a little movement in these benchmarks. Keeping sales and advertising figures the same, as your PCP program generates guaranteed traffic to the service department, it stands to reason that the organization would implement processes and procedures which increase upsell revenue from $38 to $55. With the organization's focused performance expectations and favorable incentives, F&I sells 15% more wrap plans and gives away 15% fewer complimentary plans. So, we'll recalculate using 50% complimentary and 50% wraps, while maintaining the same cost and revenue structures for each type of plan. Also, the service drive will sell 35 express plans per month instead of 25 per month. The results of these minor tweaks impact the revenue and traffic picture drastically. It still costs $1.8 million in advertising. However, the cost of the complimentary plans is reduced to $135,000 over 3 years. The net revenue increases to nearly $1.1 million, and the net profit after spoilage and upsell profit is calculated to be over $320,000. Perhaps the most important element after implementing your preferred customer program is that you have now positioned your dealership to take advantage of the numbers in a profitable or cost-neutral manner, while capitalizing on the multiplier effect of revenue-driving statistical probabilities. In football terminology, you want to set yourself up by playing offense on a short field as much as possible. If you can start a drive in the red zone, you're much more likely to score points. It's a numbers game, so position your efforts to work in your favor. The efforts are quantified by the arrows that are, number 1, training, service, and technology, and number 2, dealership commitment. These arrows or vectors of force help push and navigate the customer through the field to reach the end zone to score a touchdown. Customers escaping to competitor locations are 17% likely to be a repeat customer, meaning you have to drive 83 yards to score. While customers that perform basic maintenance at the selling dealership are 83% more likely to buy their next vehicle from that dealership. Your dealership DNA can now practically guarantee that the majority of your drives will start in the red zone in the near future. We appreciate your time in viewing this informational video. If you agree that this business has always been a numbers game and you would like to position your organization to maximize traffic in order to have a powerful multiplier in place on your numbers, then perhaps the next number you need is our number. Please call 251-990-3131.